I'm Richard,
I'm Brad.
I'm Louis.
and this is our AC circuit demo video.
Hello, my name is Richard, and here is the multi-sim part of the AC circuit video. So let me go ahead and open up multi-sim. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and build circuit on multi-sim. So the first thing we're going to need is the AC power. Gotta put it right here. Then we're going to need our resistors. And the resistors we decided to use for resistor 1, we decided to use a 1.5K, and for the R2 we decided to use a 4.7K. Go ahead and flip this, and then we just need the ground. Alright, and for our VRMS we decided to use 1, and for our frequency we decided to use 2 kilohertz. Alright, let me go ahead and connect this. Alright, and that's our circuit. Alright, so I went in and added the oscilloscope with all its connections and the 2 voltmeters, one connected to the voltage source and that other one connected to our R2. We'll go ahead and run this. Go ahead and open up the oscilloscope. Alright, and the first thing we're going to measure is the voltage peak to peak. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so our voltage peak to peak is 2.827. Alright, our RMS is 1.000. To measure the period, it's going to be 98.588. And our frequency is measured on the calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the calculator.
Okay, so here's the calculator part on measuring the frequency. So we take 1 divided by the, see there, 500 microseconds. Okay, so divided by 500 EE negative 6, which is 2 kilohertz, which is exactly what we have in multisim.
Okay, so here we are back at multisim, and we're going to measure all our measurements across R2. Okay, so the measurement for the voltage peak to peak is going to be 2.143. Okay, our VRMS is 0.758, and the period is 74.7 or 607. Okay, and then the frequency has to be calculated on the calculator. And after that calculation, we're going to have Louis and Brad do the old school and new school way on the breadboard.
Okay, so this is the calculated part for measuring the frequency across R2. Okay, so you're going to take 1 divided by the 500 microseconds. So 1 divided by 500 EE to the negative 6, which is going to give us 2, which is the exact same as that.
Okay, this is the same circuit on the breadboard that we did in multisim. To measure the voltage peak to peak, I have to count the blocks from the bottom of the oscilloscope right here to the top of the wave. I got 3 blocks times the voltage, which is 1. So I got 3 voltage peak to peak. Okay, moving to the next step. To measure the voltage RMS, I have to take my voltage peak to peak and divide it by 2. And then multiply by times 0.707. So I have 3 voltage peak to peak divided by 2 gives me 1.5 times 0.007, which gives me 1.06 voltage RMS. To measure the period, I have to count the blocks from one full wave. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop right here. I got 5, and 100 microseconds will be 500 period. To measure the frequency, I have to divide 1 by 500. EE to the -6 gives me 2000 hertz, which is the same as the function generator. To measure the voltage peak to peak across R2, to lower this in the bottom of the oscilloscope. Right there, I count the blocks. From the bottom to the top of the wave, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.4 times 500 millivolts. EE minus 3. We got 2.2 voltage. To measure the voltage RMS, I have to take my voltage peak to peak, which is 2.2 divided by 2. Gives me 1.1. Then I multiply that by 0.707. 0.77 is my voltage RMS. To measure the period, I have to count the blocks for a whole full wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6. I multiply it by 100 microseconds. This gives me 4.6 times 100 gives me 460. That's 460 for the period. To measure the frequency, I have to use 1 divided by 460 microseconds, which was my period. EE to the -6. It's me 2173.9.
All right, I'm measuring the new school way of measuring all the circuits here. To see the peak-to-peak measurement, it's right down here, 2.9, fluxing a little bit, but it's around that point. To move on to the RMS, we'll just go ahead and go back into the measurement sources. We'll go ahead and go back here, go down a little bit to the RMS, remove the menu, and it's 1.03 volts. Moving on to the frequency, we'll go ahead and come back here, do the time, and I'm sorry, the period. We're going to start with the period first. I'm sorry. The period point here is going to be 500 microseconds, fluxing a little bit there, and then we'll come over to, sorry about that, come over to time again, frequency, and then enter that in, and that is just right about 2 kilohertz. All right, so let's move on to the R2 measurement, which we'll go ahead and go by the channel 1. And we're looking for peak to peak again here. And we'll just go right here, 2.2. We're going to get the RMS. We'll go ahead and come on down to here, which is 776 millivolts. And then we'll go ahead and pull up the period point, which is going to be in time. It's 5.04 microseconds. Oh, it was. And then we'll go on to the frequency, which we turn off the menu, will be 2 kilohertz. Kilohertz, my apologies. So that's how to go and do that all new school.